Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Proverbs 31 Woman. And today we're going to talk about something that is not often talked about, but we're going to talk about the Shunamite woman. And she was the woman who built before the miracle came. And I know that that can be strong first thing in the morning, but can I just say that this is the beginning of the week? So we want to make sure that we're setting the precedence of what this week is going to look like, as well as for some of you, I know that this is going to give life, right? Like, you know how they say life be life, and I will tell you that this is going to give you back some of that life because sometimes you got to see the end before the beginning, or while you're in it, you got to start to look at the big picture. In Second Kings chapter 4, verse 9, it says, "And she said unto her household, Behold now, I perceive that this is an holy man of God, which passeth by continually." That means that she started to recognize some things that were happening. And she was also telling others to now lean into what's really going on here. And you'll find that a lot of times there's things that's going on, and we'll discount that for something simpler. We'll overlook it. Oh, that's just, how things go. But it is important that we understand our roles in all of this because there's a lot of ways that we can change some things. So, we want to talk today about strategic faith, spiritual discernment, and legacy thinking. Legacy thinking allows you to now think outside of the box, as well as put some things in place for those that's going to come behind you. The Shunamite woman stands as one of the clearest real life demonstrations of the Proverbs 31 woman, as well as the Proverbs 31 wisdom outside of the actual chapter of Proverbs. Now she's unnamed in scripture because they only called her the Shunammite woman, yet her impact is unforgettable. This alone carries profound symbolism. Legacy often is not about recognition, but about obedience. And she was described as a great woman, which in biblical context indicates that influence, capacity, and provision was her portion. She was not passive, she was discerning, strategic, and spiritually aware. Now, where others saw a traveling prophet passing through the town, she saw divine opportunity. And I want to put a pin in this right here because how many of you have been looking at divine opportunities, but still sitting back, wondering who's going to, step up to the plate, or who's going to do it when it has been on your heart for you to do it? So I want to remind you that all of us have a role, and quite often a big opportunity for us to change some things. Now, this is not just about your environment, right? At your household, but how do you show up at work? Do you see opportunities there that you can change or potentially make some things better or diffuse a situation? There's also the community. How can you help to make the community better? I've been seeing and observing a lot of people doing like community gardens, or they've been setting up these cute little book stands where people have had the opportunity to donate books or trade out books. It really does bring back the sense of community. Now, if you've been sitting on that idea, I'm just going to tell you that today is a good day to go ahead and get it started. Now, we see here where she was telling others about the traveling prophet that was coming through town, and the opportunity that she said that I perceive that this is the holy man of God. This revealed her greatest edge. And a Proverbs 31 woman is not just busy, but she is aware. She recognized divine moments others overlook. Now, let's talk about this strategic move that she did, because she built first and she received later. Many of us quite often miss the opportunity to sow, to give, to really put some seed in the ground because of we're just sitting back, observing and looking. Instead of waiting for her blessing, she initiated generosity. She didn't just offer Elisha a meal, she built a room for him. And I will say that many of us need to go ahead and make some more room, right? This is a great opportunity for you to go ahead and do what I call some spring cleaning, right? Clean out the closets, clean out the drawers, sweep underneath the rug. And this is just not spiritually, but I am also talking to you physically, right? It's the time of year where, we can get outside, we can go ahead and clean out the gutters, clean the cars up, cut the grass, prepare, literally go ahead and plant that garden that you want to plant, right? It is time, space, and opportunity for us to do that. Also, let's come back in the house for just a moment. Clean up your work area, right? If you're at work, clean up your desk. Today would be a good time to go ahead and go through those papers, go ahead and file those things. Matter of fact, clean up your computer. If you've been putting it off, today's a good day to go ahead and build and make room for the next thing that's coming, right? 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 10 says, "Let us make a little chamber, and it shall be when he cometh to us that he shall turn in thither." That means that we make some room for him and he'll be able to stay, right? Let's keep this blessing in our house, right? Let's go ahead and prepare now. Now, this is a profound kingdom strategy because she invested into spiritual infrastructure before receiving any promise. It was not promised that he was going to stop by her house, but she prepared in advance so that way she could receive. Now, this teaches us a powerful principle. Legacy builders create space for miracles before miracles appear. Now, she was not manipulating God. She was aligning her environment with divine presence. And what made this Shunamite woman stand out? For just a moment, we want to talk about this because number one, she practiced proactive faith. She did not wait for need. She acted from discernment. And faith is not only believing, but it's also building. So go ahead and start working now, right? Go ahead and prepare for that which is to come. Number two is she understood kingdom hospitality. Hospitality in scripture is not merely kindness, it is spiritual partnership. She aligned her household with prophetic flow. Can I just say that that's good right there because she understood what it was like to invite somebody in her environment. When's the last time that you invited someone in your space, right? You quite often come in contact with others on a regular basis, especially those of us that are in leadership roles. You get the opportunity to leave an impartation with everybody that you talk to. It does not have to be over the top. It does not have to be, oh, see me. It can be something subtle, right? Buy some donuts for the office. Go ahead and bring in some coffee. Go ahead and invite somebody out to lunch. It makes a difference and it goes a long way. You need to, or I'll say we need to make sure that as Proverbs 31 women, that we are showing up in our leadership spaces like we are the example. We are the living, breathing, walking, talking epistle of God. And if you truly believe that, your actions, your lifestyle is going to reflect that in everything that you do. If you've been sitting there thinking about observing other people doing it, well, now is your time to put your name in the hat, right? Go ahead and put your toe on the starting line because today is a good day for you to get started. And I know for many of you that practice this on a regular basis, now it's time to go bigger, right? Now it's time to do more. We want to make sure that we are making a difference in every interaction that we do. Number three is that the Shunamite woman refused to accept loss as her final state. After receiving a promised son, tragedy struck and the child died. Yet her response reveals extraordinary spiritual maturity. She declared in 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 23, that It is well, meaning that this was not denial. It was faith speaking beyond circumstances. So she traveled directly to the prophet, refusing to settle for her partial outcome. Her persistence resulted in resurrection. Can I just ask you, what is it that is waiting to be, or needs to be, I'll put it that way, woke up in your environment, right? Some things have long since died, they dried up, and you have just settled for it being so. Well, this is your permission, right? This is your opportunity to go ahead and wake those things up, because there's greatness within you. There's ideas that's yet to come to the table that needs to be birthed, right? We see what our economy looks like. We see sometimes what even the workplace looks like, as well as us being leaders. We've got to make sure that we are setting the example in everything, right? We don't have to bring the angry girl to the party. We can bring the queen that we are destined to be, that we already are, right? So make sure that we are taking things back into proper perspective. Now, let's talk about the Shunamite Code for just a moment. Build before you see. Here, the Proverbs 31 woman teaches us that discernment creates opportunity and faith requires movement. Don't just say, I'm waiting and do nothing. That's like filling out or waiting for a job to come and you never fill out an application. You want to make sure that you are showing up. And then legacy thinking builds environments where miracles grow. And this is where you get the edge, right? Legacy thinking builds those environments where miracles grow. You want to see some changes happen, take responsibility to make sure that it's going to happen. She did not chase the miracles. She just cultivated the environment and the miracle showed up to her. So let's do the Proverbs 31 comparison here. We always talk about the Proverbs 31 trait versus the Shunamite woman expression, or the Shunamite Woman Code, and how she showed up. So first of all, in Proverbs 31, that trait says that she considered fulfill. Well, the Proverbs 31, or the Shunamite Woman Code, says that strategic planning and initiative, meaning that she saw an opportunity and she went to work. She didn't wait for the opportunity to come and then she built. She said, no, I think something is on the horizon. So let me go ahead and let me put my name in the hat. Let me get out there. Also, we see that the Proverbs 31 trait is strength and honor. Well, the Shunamite woman says that calm faith in crisis, meaning that do not blow up in the middle of a crisis. We get the opportunity to show love and compassion and level-headedness. And this is what she displayed throughout her process, because we see that in the scriptures, some tragedy came to her house. And as a result of her inviting the blessing in, that the blessing, the miracle came back to her. You don't know what's on the other side of through. However, when you're in the middle of it, you've got to position yourself that the other side of through is goodness, is grace, is mercy, it is love, is compassion, is kindness. We want to make sure that we are going through whatever our situation is, but do so with excellence, do so with goodness of heart, do so with the faith that you say that you're holding on to. That means that you're not taken down to whatever it is that's going on with you, and you're not how would you say, you're not conforming to the situation, right? Evil for evil, an eye for an eye, anger with anger. You know, you cannot have an argument with one person talking, right? So for some of us that like a good fight, it's not always, you got to pick and choose your battles, right? It's not always time to, bring the dukes out. Sometimes you got to do so with wisdom and loving kindness. The other Proverbs 31 woman trait was wisdom. Well, the Shunamite woman had spiritual perception, right? Like she could see that this was a great opportunity and she was going to make sure that she went all in on it so that she could help to cultivate the environment for the blessing and the miracle to happen. And then, of course, the Proverbs 31 trait says that there was care for household. Well, she did the most. The Shunammite woman built legacy as an environment, right? Like she opened up her home to him, and that allowed others to be able to see that when you make room for the miracle to happen, it shows up, right? It comes to your doorstep and it happens. So let's talk about the 3 actions that we can apply the Shunamite Code. Number 1 is create space for God's assignment. You want to evaluate your environment physically, spiritually, emotionally. What needs to be prepared for your next level? Only you know that, you know where you are. I believe that every situation, if you do not like it, you can change it, right? The days and times that we live in today, if we don't like our clothes, we can, update our wardrobe. If we don't like our job environments, I am not telling you to go ahead and put in your notice today, but I am saying to do something about it. There's some things that we can do that can allow us to have a better environment. Good morning, Miss Virginia. So great to see you. Thank you so much for joining in. If you do not like some things in your environment, do something to change it, because it is definitely going to make a difference when you show up. You should be the example in the situation. Number 2 is act on discernment quickly. When you sense divine alignment, don't delay. Movement activates your momentum. So this is your permission to go ahead and do some things, right? Go ahead and create that next business model, right? Go ahead and expand the business. Go ahead and, matter of fact, go ahead and write the book, right? Because many of you have the secret to how others are going to be able to get delivered, how they're going to be set free, and they're going to be lit on fire, right? They're going to be ready to run. So it is definitely good. Number 3 is speak faith even in crisis. Choose words that align with God's promises and not just present circumstances, right? Go to the word. What does the word say about your situation? Pray that, right? Speak that. Speak life in the situation and leave it there. There's no need to add to it or take away. The word tells us that no jot or tittle is going to change until the appearing of the Lord. So that means the word is complete and is good all by itself. So when's the last time you put the word on the situation? When's the last time, matter of fact, you followed the instructions the way that the word presented it to be, right? Pray for our enemies, those that despitefully use us. Bless them real good, right? When was the last time that you used it in the context at which it was stated? Right? Not our way, not the way that I want to do it, but what does the word tell you to do about it? So, of course, we want to get into these journal prompts, and I want you to take some time with your journal on this week. The first prompt is, where is God inviting me to build before I see the results? Many of us, especially the entrepreneurs, those that are in leadership in the jobs, we want to see some results. However, it's going to mean that some things need to be refined. And frankly, some things may need to just be changed, right? Start all over. Go ahead and scrap that, right? And start with something brand new because it's not working. Go ahead and start all over again. Now, number 2, what areas of your life require deeper spiritual discernment? Okay, now I know that that's going to be a mouthful. Write down all the areas, because for some of us, it may be more than 1 or 2, right? Whatever those areas are, remember, pick one and start from there. And number 3, how do I respond when unexpected challenges threaten what God has promised? Whew, That right there, yeah, that will preach, right? How do you respond to situations when the unexpected things happen, right? When things are coming to try to buffet your flesh, it's coming to try to steal the promise. How do you respond? Because God promised it, right? And his word does not change. So if it does not change, what do you believe in? What are you standing on, right? Where's the doubt coming from? And you've got to get to the bottom of that and realign yourself, realign your thinking, right? That mindset, and get back on track. It does not matter what happened yesterday. Matter of fact, it does not happen what happened 1 hour, 30 minutes ago, right? Let's clean up that mindset. Go ahead and put on that I can do it suit today, right? Matter of fact, go back. If you need to change them shoes, go ahead and change those shoes, because I want you to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. And the reason why we do these at the beginning of the week, early in the morning, is that you can set the precedence of your day, right? The precedence for your week. You can set up your expectation to say, you know what, last week may not have been my best week, but this week, oh yeah, we're going to set it up that it's going to be amazing. And so I absolutely love that we get the opportunity to share in these messages and talk about the different codes that's laid out before us that we can align with, that we can realign with if necessary, that's going to help us to get to our next level. So our affirmation for the week is this, and I want you to repeat after me, okay? I am a woman of strategic faith. Like the Shunamite woman, I build with wisdom. I discern with vision, and I stand firm in faith, even when circumstances shift. All right, now, like if you said that, let's go, right? That is really good, because yes, I am a strategic woman of faith, right? I don't know, but that just hyped me up even more, because I know that when I build something and I don't see the end result of why I'm building it, right? I just know that spiritual discernment told me to go ahead and do it, right? So I can see the change. So our word for the week is going to be prepare, right? Go ahead and write that real big. I want you to put that on some stickies every single place this week, because that word prepare is going to meet you somewhere, right? We want to be women that are proactive and not reactive, right? Especially when we get the opportunity to leave an impartation. So preparation is the language of faith. And our scripture is Proverbs 24:3. It says, through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding is it established. You get to set the precedence. You get to be the example, and you get to take others on that road along with you. So thank you so much for being here this week and us talking about the Shunamite Woman Code, because I know that these Proverbs 31 women is going to show up like never before. And because we are connected, I look forward to hearing more about how you're making a difference, the thing that's going on. And for many of you that have been sending over text messages, DMs, the encouragement to continue to keep going on. Thank you, thank you, thank you for us locking arms and joining in and showing up and making a difference. So have an amazing week. Remember, our word is prepare, and you want to make sure that you are ready, ready, ready for that next level. I'll see you again next week. Take care and have a wonderful week. Take care.